This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. So we will wait for 2 more minutes for others to join, and then we will start our session. Okay, we'll wait for 2 more minutes and then we'll start our session. Yeah, once again, welcome everyone. So I'll quickly open our course content. Yeah. So in our previous session, I explained about the components. Okay, JMeter components. I mean, what is sampler, what is logic controller, pre-processor, post-processor, like that. We discussed about the basic components that are there in JMeter. So right now we are going to start an important topic, which is actually thread groups. Okay, thread groups. So I'll quickly open JMeter.
Hello. Hi, Sarana. Good morning.
Hi, Madhukeshwar.
Hi. I just had a doubt, Sarana, before we start. So, like yesterday, when I'm practicing the previous class, which I'm been unavailable, I just got a doubt. While I'm working with the proxy which I added up into the browser and into the Apache, and when I try to start opening the internet, it's not working. Did I miss out any other chance? I think I couldn't get that.
Yeah,
If you
that's
can,
what. Yeah, so, yeah. I'll tell you. So if you are not doing anything in JMeter, but if you're only edited your proxy, your internet will not work. Okay. If you are
okay.
starting JMeter and then if you are doing something in browser only, it will work because JMeter is becoming like a proxy server.
Right,
Okay.
I got it. So what I did is I started the recording in the JMeter, okay, and then I went back to the browser tab, and then I tried to open some of the URL. But
Okay.
even after that, it's not opening. It's just saying it's no internet.
Now, which means that your organization is actually modified your port setting. Okay. Is it in a personal laptop or your organization laptop?
No, it's a personal laptop.
So then this situation should not come. I think somewhere you are missing something. Okay. So
Okay.
what you do, I'll repeat the process. Go to the manual proxy. There you give the local host and then the port number. And in
Okay.
the additional tab, that nothing should be there. You have to remove everything. And then save
Okay.
the value in browser setting. Come to JMeter. Here also you configure the same port, whatever you configured over there. And then you try to do the bare minimum selection of your menus, and then you try to start the recording. The recording should work. Okay.
Should.
If you follow these things properly, it will work. If anything problem, you let me know. I'll ask my team to connect with you, or else I'll also connect with you, Madhikesh. Okay.
Sure, please. Yeah. Thank you, Sarana. Thank you.
Yeah. So now coming back to thread group topic. Okay. I mean, those who are already working in LoadRunner, for you guys, this is actually controller or performance center. Controller or performance center where you do load testing scenario configuration or stress testing scenario, endurance testing scenario configuration that you are doing, right? That's actually here in JMeter is actually called as thread group. Thread group. Okay. So thread group always comes under test plan. Okay. Thread group always comes under test plan. Okay. So in thread group, under the thread group only your samplers, logic controllers, preprocessor, anything that you are adding, because you are doing the execution. Whatever you wanted to do the execution, you are going to add under the thread group only. Okay. So before to that, maybe before even adding any samplers or anything, I'm simply explaining what is thread group means. Okay, there are two things, two sections are there. And in that, what is actually frequently used sections, I mean frequently in the sense like what menus you should definitely know, because there are things it is there but you are not going to use it, so that's the reason I'm telling like this. So there are two things: action to be taken after a sampler error, that is the first section. Second section is actually a thread properties. Thread properties. Okay. So action to be taken after a sampler error. Okay, I mean if your samplers are failing, what you have to do? Okay, what you are supposed to do? Okay, say like what it is there, continue. If the sampler errors are there, still I wanted to continue. Okay, no problem. Start next thread loop. I mean the current execution is actually failing. I'm going to start the next thread loop. I'm leaving the current one and then taking the next loop, and then I'm going to proceed. That is another step. Stop that thread, that particular thread which is actually facing the sampler error, right? That thread you can stop it. And then stop test, entire test you stop it. You don't want to do anything. And then stop test now. Don't even think. Straight away completely stop the test. That is actually stop test now. But don't worry, I'm saying all these options are there, but you are going to only have the default option, which is actually continue. Okay, you are not going to select any other option. Usually people will select the default option and then they do their test. Okay, so on this section, nothing to worry. You are going to anyways use the default option. Next one is thread properties. Thread properties. Here only your configuration that you are going to do. I mean, I'm going to do a test. What configuration I should follow? Before that, I should understand what is that. I should understand what is that. So, number of threads. Number of threads in JMeter. Number of threads is nothing but number of users. In JMeter, number of threads is nothing but number of users. How many users you wanted to execute as part of your testing? As part of your testing, number of users you wanted to do the execution. Okay. Okay. So this is something that I explained already, right? Like load testing means expected user, and then stress testing means 2x, 3x user. Scalability testing means feature user. So which means that you are going to have that many number of user in your testing. That many number of user in your testing. Okay, number of users. Next one is your ramp up period. I mean, within how much of a time you wanted the users, the entire users to come inside the application. You want the entire user to come inside the application. Okay, say like 60 seconds. 10 users should come inside the application. 60 seconds, 10 users to come inside the application. So what will happen? So you will be getting 6 seconds, one user will be coming in. Within 6 seconds, one user will be coming in. That is actually called as your ramp up period. Ramp up is nothing but within how much of a second you want the person to come in. Okay, the total users to come in. So that is what you are doing it in the ramp up period. Ramp up period, you are trying to do this activity. Okay, you are trying to do this activity. And then the third one is loop count. Loop count. I mean, so there are two options are there. Okay, there are times you will run the test with the duration based. I mean 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, like that. You will be running the test with the duration based. And there are cases you will be executing iteration based. Iteration, number of iteration based. Okay, the test can be either duration based or it can be either iteration based. I mean, why iteration based? Say there are customers, they'll say, I need to complete so and so order per hour, so and so target per hour, so and so activity per hour, like that. They will give you that number. So in that case, you don't want to do a duration based execution because customer already shared the number. So what you are going to do, you are going to use the iteration based model, iteration based. Okay, you are going to execute the test with the so and so iteration to check the number of transactions that are processed properly or what, like that. Okay, so which means that it can be either duration based or it can be iteration based. So the loop count is nothing but the iteration based. Loop count is nothing but the iteration based. Or you can specify here. I mean, you can specify, you can check this checkbox and then you can specify here, like say in my case, if I say like 300 seconds means 5 minutes. So like that, whatever the second that you wanted to execute it, you can execute it. Okay. So startup delay means within how much of a time you wanted to delay your test. Startup delay is nothing but within how much of a time you wanted to delay your test in the initial portion. But those and all, I don't think you are going to use it. So that is the reason I told you this one, or you can use the iteration based, or you can use the duration based. That's all. That's all. These are the things you are going to use it frequently. The other menu you are not going to touch it. Okay, it is saying same user on each iteration. Whether you wanted to maintain the same user on each iteration, yes. Delay thread creation until needed. I mean, you wanted to create threads that has to be delayed for some time. Yes, you can do it. Or startup delay. Startup delay is nothing but how much of a time you want to delay the startup. But those are all just a menu option that is actually available. You don't want to worry about it because you are going to use the number of threads, ramp up period, either a loop count or iteration based. That's all. These are the main functionality that we are going to use it. Okay. Any question guys till now? Anybody have any question?
Yes, sir. So here the ramp up period is a complete ramp up period for the total number of users or only for the set of users?
Total number of users.
For the total number of users. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, thanks.
So like if I use 10 user, 60 seconds. Okay, it is 60 divided by 10. 60 ramp up period divided by number of users. Okay, so 60
Okay.
divided by 10, which is actually every 6 seconds it is expected to bring one user inside the application. Okay,
Right.
for the time being is like I'll add one sampler for your understanding. Okay, so www.google.com. Okay, google.com, and then I'm adding one listener for checking in the log. Okay, so I'm saving this script. Okay, look at this right hand side, guys. Okay, look at this right hand side here. Here you can see if I start the test, one user. Just a minute. Looks like something we did the change. Yeah, it is not a. I mean, it is not a iteration based. I'll go with the duration based. Okay, so yeah. So now you see first user came, and then after 6 seconds second user came, and then after 12th second third user came, after 18th second fourth user came, like that your entry will be there. Clear, Madhukeshwar?
Yeah, got it, Saran. Thank you.
So which means that thread group, whenever you are doing a load testing, stress testing, endurance testing, what you are doing, yes, under the thread group only you are going to have your samplers, logic controllers, everything will be there. But thread group, why we are using, we wanted to design our test. We wanted to design our test. We wanted to see like how our execution is basically happening. Okay, how you are doing your load testing with so and so user, so and so hour, so and so iteration. What you are planning to do, that scenario creation that you are trying to do it in the thread group. You are trying to do it in the thread group. Any question, guys? Till now, anybody have any question? So what you can do, you can either go by iteration option. I mean, 10 iteration, 20 iteration, 30 iteration, like that. You can either do the iteration option, or you can do the duration option. Okay. While doing the duration, what you are going to do, you are going to do like this. I mean, how much of a duration that you wanted to do the execution. It may be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, whatever. Here you are going to do the configuration. Any corner to corner chance, if you wanted to delay the startup things and all, you can still do it. But I mean, regularly people are not using this kind of thing. Okay, that's a difference. Okay, so which means that you have your action to be taken after a sampler error option and also thread group option. So through the thread group option, you can set the number of users, ramp up period, and then your loop count or your duration, whatever you wanted to set it, you can set it. Any question, guys? Thread group means what? Yeah. So the next option, which is actually your concurrency thread group. Concurrency thread group. Okay, concurrency thread group. So if I go to my JMeter, right click, add thread group. Look at here. In my case, there are thread groups that are there. I mean, if you go and check it in your JMeter, this will not be there. By default, this will not be there. These options will not be there by default in JMeter. Why? Because that is not the native capability of JMeter. These are all additional plugin capability. Plugin. You need to install the plugin, then only these options will come in JMeter. Which means that this is not a default behavior. It is something that we are bringing in. So I told you in the initial explanation also, during our initial explanation also, I told you JMeter is such a tool. Even you can write your own jar file and then you can deploy the jar file and then you can make use of it. Okay, that is how this tool is actually designed. Okay, you can do your own activity also. But right now, what I did, I installed this plugin because I want additional thread group options that are there. And I wanted to do my test. Okay, so here it is actually B is at M and JP at GC. So these are the vendors. I mean, B is at M is nothing but BlazeMeter. JP is actually their own people, JMeter people. They did this plugin development. So which means that those who are developed this plugin, their name would be there. So one is BlazeMeter and another one is JMeter people. So which means that why I'm saying this, these are all not a default capability. These are all not a default capability. There is actually something that we are doing additionally. How to do that? How you can install this plugin? So you have to search a word in Google, which is actually your plugin manager. Plugin manager. Okay, so you can go to the first link itself. Yeah, so please follow this step also. Okay, I'll copy paste this link in the chat. You guys can take a look. Okay, so what you are supposed to do, how you are going to do this configuration. First of all, download the plugin manager jar. You right click, it will download the plugin manager jar to the local. Look at here, it is actually downloading. So which means that you have to first download the jar file of plugin manager. Plugin manager itself is actually a jar file and you have to download it to the local. And then what you have to do, you have to put that in the JMeter libext folder. Okay, go to JMeter. Under library ext folder, you should place the plugin manager. Okay, you should place the plugin manager inside this. Look at here, it is actually already available. JMeter plugin manager, which is actually already available. So if you are dropping that, okay, so once you are dropping that and then restart the JMeter, that is very important. Then only the action will be happening. So if you go to the options tab, you can see the plugins manager option. So once you are launching this plugin manager from JMeter, there are plugins that are available or installed or whatever you want to do it, you can do it in this tab. So what you can do, you can add custom thread groups. Custom thread groups you have to select and then do the installation, which means that once you are doing this installation, these plugins will be available additionally. Not only your native capability, you are also going to have an additional capability. Any question, guys? Any question? So in my case, I already installed this custom thread group, so that is the reason it is straight away available in my JMeter. Okay, in my JMeter, it is already available. So you guys, what you have to do right now, you need to go and download the plugin manager, put the plugin manager inside the libext folder, and then restart the JMeter, and then go to the options. There, plugin manager option will be available. Click on that, and then go to the available graph list. In that, you try to select the thread group, custom thread group related plugins, and then you can do the installation. Which means that you are going to have these additional thread groups that are going to be listed under the thread groups. Any question, guys? Anybody have any question? Yeah. Coming back. So coming back here. So I'll delete this example. I'll add what is that topic? Topic is actually concurrency thread group. Okay. Right click, add thread group, concurrency thread group. So concurrency thread group is slightly different from your previous thread group, normal thread group option, but slightly. Okay. So what you are going to do? The same action to be taken after a sample error is actually the same thing. So you don't want to worry at all. It's the same common behavior that we are having. So the next one is target concurrency. Target concurrency. I mean, how many user you wanted to do the execution? How many user you wanted to do the execution? Okay, say like I'm saying 50 user. 50 user. So that many concurrent user that I wanted to do the execution. 50 user load that I wanted to do the execution. And then ramp up time. Right now the legend is actually there in the minutes. If you wanted to change it to seconds, still you can do the selection. So ramp up time, within how much of a time you wanted to make all these people to come in. So if you are saying like 100 seconds or something like that. So within 100 seconds, all the 50 users should come in. That is a meaning. That is a meaning. And then within how much of a step? I mean, yes, we know within 100 millisecond, within 100 seconds, you are expecting the 50 users to come inside. Within how much of a steps you wanted to bring in? Within how much of a steps you wanted to bring in? Say like if I give 5. So like this only the users will be going inside the system if you are giving a 5 seconds option. So every 5 seconds you are going to have so and so concurrent user. So hold target rate. I mean, how much of a time you wanted to execute the test? Is it 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, 24 hour, whatever? So which means that you are going to give like say 300 seconds, which is actually here 5 minutes. So this is how you are designing the load scenario in concurrency thread group. Okay. So it is quite a similar behavior like your normal thread group. Only maybe the difference is like this: you are visually watching what is actually happening while creating the scenario. Okay. So right now we are saying like target concurrency means what, ramp up period means what, ramp up step means what, or you are you wanted to hold it for some time means what, like that you are going to get that understanding. Any question guys still now? Anybody have any question? So definitely people will see like what are all the understanding that you are having with respect to the thread group, and what are all the different thread groups you are aware of, or have you ever worked on those things like that, they'll try to check. So in that case, your normal thread group and concurrency thread group, I don't think people will see much of a difference here. Okay, only thing is you are going to say concurrency and then ramp up, how many steps, how and yeah, how much of a time that you wanted to hold this time with you. So, any question?
Yes, sir. The whole target rate is nothing but the steady state of the users, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now, so you have an understanding. Any application that you are doing performance testing, what you are doing a ramp up. I mean, slowly people are coming inside your application, and then you are executing the steady state. Executing the steady state. So which means that steady state only considered for your load testing, stress testing, volume testing, endurance testing. For everything, you need to think about this steady state option. Okay, so which means that in our case, usually it is actually 1 hour of steady state, right? Because we are following the industry process. So 1 hour of load test you are trying to execute it. Any question, guys? Still no? Anybody have any question? So this thread group side, I mean, people will try to have different questions during the interview. I'm saying, because they wanted to see like how you are good in configuring this thread groups and what are all the test types that you executed, how you configured those things in your thread group in JMeter, like that only people will check. Okay, so
Sir, like here we don't have any ramp down or anything in JMeter.
For that we are using different thread group, Madhukeshwar. That is what we are going to see in the tomorrow session. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So those who wanted to enroll this session and then continue your learning, 80199524427. Okay, 80199524427. Okay, you can reach out to Kumar sir, asking for any questions. I mean, timing related, course content related, anything that you wanted to discuss, you can discuss with Kumar sir. His number is 80199524427. Okay, so you can reach out to him and then ask him for any questions. Okay, so this is actually a weekday session, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, we are doing this session Monday to Friday. Okay, weekday session, weekend holiday. Okay, weekday session, weekend holiday, and all these videos are recorded. Okay, all these videos are recorded and we are sharing through YouTube playlist URL. Okay, every day you are going to get the YouTube playlist URL. Those who are missing the session also, you can watch the video, no problem. Okay, so which means that all artifacts, all artifacts, supporting documents, everything we are going to share through Google Drive. You can download it and then make use. Okay, I mean, I hope there are learners who joined today for evaluating us. I think, in my understanding, today is the last day for giving the option to do the evaluation. So from tomorrow, I mean, they'll create a new group and then they'll share the details to only the learners, those who are going to be part of the group. So please ensure that you are doing a proper follow up and then proper enrollment to continue your learning. Okay, so you can reach out to Kumar sir. 80199524427 is number. You can reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. Okay, any question?
Yes, sir. Like yesterday we had something on pre-processor, right? If you can give me some input on that, it will help.
What is that?
What is pre-processor?
Pre-processing. See, there are dynamic value that are coming in your application. Okay, dynamic value, which is keep on changing every time. The dynamic value actually received.
Right.
Usually what we will do, we will trace back and we will find the position where the dynamic value is actually first generating. That place we do the correlation and then we'll pass the value. That is the usual step. Okay.
Correct.
In your script, that dynamic value is not there, and you don't have any clue in the application which request is actually having that dynamic value. So
Okay.
in that case, you can do the pre-processor. You can pre-processor, you process your own data. You can pre-process your own data. It may be security ID, it may be token or anything. You can pre-process the data and then you can pass it on that data inside your application using the variable.
Okay. So it's nothing but like we are processing some data like which will be a dynamic and which is not available in the before request. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got that. And the post process is nothing but where we find the request which generates that dynamic value, and
Yeah,
for that we
correct.
with post processor.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
thanks.
Yeah. So which means that you have this detail, you can reach out to Kumar sir, and from tomorrow the enrolled students only will be part of the group, and then we can continue our learning. Thanks everyone.
So
Thanks.
actually,
Yes.
we will get a recording for today.
Yeah, you will be getting.
Okay. Okay.
So thanks learners for joining this session. Thanks for giving me this opportunity for sharing my knowledge and experience with you people. We are going to continue the same for the upcoming sessions, and thanks all for joining and then making the session wonderful. Yeah. Thanks all. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.